Hello, welcome to Sandy Ainley. I hope each one of you are well. I'm well, good. I think it's very positive that I'm feeling well as a result of the fact that I had the most abominable nightmare last night. There was a very toxic figure in this nightmare, and it's been very disturbing for me to have dreamt that. So I'm going to try and clear my mind and my emotion in this video. So that leads me to say that I so wish to talk on the subject of my mental health OCD concern. So question number one. Who has OCD? I do. Why? As I was growing up, my parents were very good at organising. My mother was constantly cleaning and very fussy when it came to cleanliness. And for example, if I had a biscuit, I had to use a plate to have the biscuit with. And the crumbs would have gone otherwise on the floor, and my mother really was very iffy and didn't like that type of idea at all. My father, or my late father, did not have a diagnosis, I don't think. However, I think that I can make a pretty good assumption that my father suffered with a very mild form of OCD, so to speak. And I wish to say to you that I'm not, and I ain't, in blaming mode. I'm simply just describing a little bit on the subject of my background in order to experiment and to think, well, maybe this, maybe that, maybe the other. I don't know the real reasons or reason. I can only base it upon speculation or assumption, if you prefer that word. And I could be correct, I could be incorrect. However, it'd be interesting to explore a little bit, for me anyway. And hopefully you'll find it interesting to hear me. Going on to my family, my brother's also a very clean, tidy and organised human being in absolute excess, I think's the word. My brother has the same type of issue as my late father had, where if I'm drinking a drink and I finish my drink, my late father would get up and take the cup away or the mug away to place in the dishwasher immediately after I've finished the last sip of my drink. At least it seemed immediately, to me anyway. It was extremely soon after, so to speak. And I noticed that in my brother. If I asked my brother to please ask my mother to give me back the money that my mother owed me, then it would be done immediately, and I'd have my mum on the phone to me, oh, do I owe you money? And that took place about 4 days ago. That's what the reason as to why I'm saying it is still very fresh in my mind. And so you see, behaviour is a learned element, if one may say it in such a fashion. And I'm make a pretty good assumption that I picked up bits from my immediate family, whom I love dearly, and I'm not in blaming mode. And I do focus on the positives as opposed to the negatives, or positive, negative. I like to think of each member of my immediate family on a positive note. Please excuse me, I'm getting very sleepy. I've just had my dinner, and that's the risk in having dinner before recording a vlog. By the time my food is digested a little bit, I'm ready to sleep. I'll try and keep my eyes awake. So going on to learned behaviour. I do recall when I was much younger, about 10 years of age, I didn't approve of my late father being very particular in my presence on subject of cleanliness, especially tidiness, with my late father, constantly tidying and straightening, and just needed to be so rigid, I think's the word. And I didn't used to like it. It used to trouble me. And I think the deep down reason was that I knew I was like that somewhere deep down inside. And my darling late father, whom I adored and adore the memory of, and it is not a criticism of anybody, I repeat, it is not a criticism of anybody. I am just describing a little bit on subject of my background. And then going on to my brother, was a quiet person as a child and spent a lot of time studying in his bedroom in Edgware in Orchard Close. And my brother hasn't changed. My brother still is a very disciplined person and very overly organised. I don't think that my brother has much ability to relax. And I would say that I don't mind comparing, I'm even more like that than my brother is, obsession-wise and organisation-wise, and not wanting to leave things to the last minute, so to speak. The manner in which I look at this is, if you have OCD, if, for example, I feel obsessional, I feel I must keep my legs together, and I'm obsessed with it. So what I do is I learn to relax a little bit so that I don't feel any pressure here. However, I'm still thinking on the subject, so what one needs to do is click. One needs to think of something completely different and move away from where one is, especially with me at the moment, as a result of the fact that my restless leg is playing up at the moment. And so there's a combination here of obsessional thoughts. The restlessness, I think, is largely down to nervousness. So I decided to take my feet out of my massage machine, which I shall show you if I may. They are nice rose gold foot massager. However, I so wish to take my feet out now-ish, as a result of the fact that it's starting to hurt me. It's quite powerful and strong. And I also so wish to get up, which shall help my restless leg, I think. and also my obsession on the subject of my legs. And I'll go on to that. It's all very well wanting to be a lady and to have ladylike and correct movement. However, I'm a larger lady than some, maybe, and I need to lose a lot of weight, clearly. And so I'm self-conscious, and sitting down can be very hard for me. So what I've done is I found a way to be comfortable and at the same time not to have my legs wide apart. And so good, each one that helps me, as in each topic, that is a bonus for me. So I'm now doing something slightly different, says Sandy, who hasn't got up. I'm sitting to my side and I've moved the iPad and I am holding one side of the iPad and I'm not thinking so much on the subject of my legs. So it must mean that mission is starting to be accomplished. I could relax back, show a different side to me, to you people, persons, nice individual, and be relaxed, just to relax my head on this pillow and just talk to you in this manner. I welcome it. I don't mind having said. It's so lovely. So one needs to write a list. In my case, constant lists. List after list after list. And what I've decided that I'm going to do is minimize the precise detail to just writing what I know I shall probably, I don't think I can say I know, but what I shall probably remember when I read the information back. And it works for me. One point I do need to focus on is I tend to write a list for what I'm going to do the following day. I need to minimize the amount of chores I do each day. So instead of 20 a day, it needs to be 5. And that's very good for the OCD. It's called an exposure, if you didn't know, which means one's exposing oneself to one's deepest anxiety concerning OCD. And in my case, I, for example, have to have everything done before I go out. So exposure-wise, I purposely leave certain chores out to do after I shall return back home into my flat. And I do that occasionally, and it works. It teaches me to loosen up. Imagine, please, one's in a maze and one's getting lost constantly, can't get out the maze. Then one starts to come out the maze, through the entrance of the maze, and then one actually comes out of the maze altogether. And that's the point at which I'm getting to when I'm purposely leaving chores to do after I've left my flat for the afternoon or however long or short. And so here we are with one perfect example, if I may please assume so, of what an exposure can do to help. And one thing, please, to keep in mind is that change is a positive element on occasion, depending upon the context, of course. In my case, I feel I'm changing, as in turning more and more insightful as each day passes. And in this case, I believe that I'm at the winning end of my battle with my hips, and I'm going to be given some treatment, probably in the near future, possibly a hip replacement, I don't know yet. And I'm just looking forward to hoping that I shall be walking properly again, and therefore travelling more and maybe going on a holiday. I would just love that. That would be superb. And so that's where I am right now. I do appreciate your company. And I shall like to add that attitude is everything. Quote a lady who's friendly with my mother, who said that to me about 30 years ago. And it really has stuck in my mind, and I believe so much that it's true. And it's very uplifting and very encouraging for me to hear that. So on that positive note, I'm going to bid you a beauty of a kiss to each one of you. Please take care, and please take care of one another. And please click on the link below and like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Good night.